If you've been on your spiritual journey for a while and you still don't know how to diagnose or understand if you're making any progress spiritually, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Tara T. They call me the shadow specialist because I'm the one you call when you need a reality check to get your life on track. Now, if you've been rocking with me for a while, you know my last video, I did a ritual on the 9-9 portal to diagnose the health of my chakras. And today in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to read what your candle is telling you when you burn it. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was a little surprised as to what I saw from my candles, but I have been going through a major shift and transition in my home. Spiritually, things have been transpiring within me. So, we just going to roll with it. I do plan to do this ritual again tomorrow during the eclipse to see if the energy has shifted in my chakras now that I have shifted the energy in my house. So let's get right into it. All of these candles came from the Dollar Tree. I'm assuming they're probably processed and manufactured in the same type of warehouse. There is no difference in any of these candles besides the color, which, of course, vibrates at a different frequency. And the intention that I put into each candle was to diagnose and reveal to me the health of my chakras. So I'll start out with the positive. None of my candles shattered. Okay. None of my candles shattered. All of these are glass, of course, and none of them shattered. As you can see, each candle has film. The candle burned mostly completely down for all of the candles, but all of the candles have a film on it, which means it's not completely clear. The crown chakra and the sacral chakra are the candles that burn the cleanest, but the candle still has a film on it. Okay. The sacral chakra was the first candle to burn completely out. The second candle to burn completely out was my crown chakra. The third candle to burn completely out was my third eye chakra. Next was my throat chakra. After that, it was my sacral chakra, then my heart chakra, and the last candle to burn out was my root chakra. Now, that right there tells me a whole lot in itself. I was paying attention to this over the days that it burned. It took about 72 hours for them all to burn completely out. So that's a complete 3 days. 7 plus 2 is a 9. So it was signifying a completion for me that all of the candles were completely burned out by the third day, right? But let's get back into the film on the candle. Now, as you can see, because the glass is not completely clear, that's letting me know that there is needing of clarity to bring into each chakra. Each chakra needs a different level of work based on the clarity and how they burn. The solar plexus, as you can see, the candle did not burn completely off of the glass down to the end, which lets me know that I still need some work in my discipline. I am currently on a weight release journey, and this candle has just a tiny bit of, well, I shouldn't say tiny bit. This is a good portion of the candle at the bottom still has a lot of wax, letting me know that this chakra needs to address, I would say, from about age 14 till about the beginning of my recollection, which is around 3 years old. And the reason why I'm saying about 14, because I am currently 34. So how I would read this is this candle is indicative of me as a person and my solar plexus chakra at the age that I currently am, right? So this is a little less than halfway down the candle. So it's not completely 17, which would be about midway of the candle. That lets me know I should start addressing some of the concerns and issues that I had around the age of 17 on down to the earliest parts of my formative years, right? So most of the concentrated yellow wax is, I would say, about 2/3 down, which lets me know I should start addressing right around the time the solar plexus is beginning its growth, right around 14, 15, and before then. So I know personally in my own journey that food was scarce. Um, my security and willpower had a lot of conflict during my childhood and early teenage years. There was a lot of transitioning going on in my life during that time. And as I am progressing right now, as you can see, the higher portion of the candle is pretty clear. Most of the wax burned completely off of my higher level years where I have gained more willpower, more discipline. I've been able to accomplish a lot in my life. And so there's a lot of wax that burned down of my upper years, the years, I would say, around 16 until present day. I have learned to discipline myself in the areas that allow for me to progress and flourish. But there's still a lot of energy, dense energy, stuck in the lower aspect of my sacral chakra, which is around my childhood, which is tied to my eating habits, tied to the discipline in what I eat, how often I eat. And I know specifically my journey is in regards to my solar plexus has a lot to do with what I'm working on right now, which is releasing some weight. Now, I was surprised that my sacral chakra burned the fastest, the quickest. I believe this burned out completely around 36 hours, which once again adds to a 9. And what this is telling me is that I have a lot of creative power going on. I am in the process of creating more content, delivering more information to you guys about what I have learned, my experiences, and I have a lot of creative ideas that I am working on bringing to the public. However, there's still clarity needed in this chakra. As you can see, the glass on this chakra is still quite foggy, quite hazy, and I have been seeking mentorship. I've been taking master classes to learn how to really master this whole content creation thing and how to bring my vision of what I want to deliver to you guys in a creative way. So, this is very indicative of what I'm currently going through right now in my life in regards to my creativity. Okay. There, this candle also burned down the cleanest. There is the least amount of wax left on the candle. At the bottom is the least amount of wax. Pretty much in comparison to the crown chakra, these two have the least amount of wax left, which lets me know that these are very active chakras for me right now. Okay. Now, I'm going out of order because I'm pretty much doing it in the order in which they burned. Okay, so we'll go to the crown chakra. Purple, if you know me, you know purple is my favorite color. I have purple walls in my home, purple throw pillows, covers, etc., etc. However, I have always been very intuitive. I have very vivid and prophetic dreams. I have been called a visionary in my family. And this candle lets me know that I am receiving divine guidance. I am um, hearing spirit communicate to me, but there's still a lot of fog and haze. There needs to be some clarity as to how I refine the information that I'm receiving, how I receive and become more aware of how I am receiving guidance and how I am interpreting guidance that I receive from the divine. But I am getting it. I am receiving it, and it is being processed through my third eye. Now, as you can see, this is the first candle where there is a lot of wax starting at the top, going all the way down. So what this lets me know is that although I'm receiving guidance, although I'm receiving spiritual information, is being filtered through some dense energy in my third eye. I have been working on this year opening my third eye. One of my goals was to completely open my third eye so that I have more clarity of sight. Most of my visions are like snapshots of things. I don't see full motion pictures. I don't see clear faces. Most of the time, the things that I do see the clearest come to me in my dreams and not in my waking day. So, in order for me to completely um, receive and interpret the energy that I'm receiving from the divine, I need to work on cleaning up the dense energy that is stored in my third eye. Now, as I said, at the time in which I did this ritual, there was a lot of dense energy in my house and my body. So I do expect for these candles to look completely different when I do this ritual again. I feel lighter. My energy in my home feels lighter. There's a lot of movement and energy within my physical vessel. So I do anticipate these candles to look different. Now, when you read a candle, you're looking for clarity of the candle. As you can see, one positive thing about all of my chakras, there is no soot. You see no black soot on the candle, which is indicative of low vibrational negative energy. None of my chakras, I have been working diligently on healing. I have been making sure that I purge and release, journal, and seeking outside support from mentors and things of that nature, getting readings and things of that sort, so that I can start to release stagnant energy. So, although there are some candles like the heart and the throat chakra that have a lot of wax still on the candle, there is no soot, which is very positive. And I started this video out by saying that none of my glass shattered, which can indicate a lot of very powerful negative energy within that chakra, because these candles were to diagnose your chakra. When it explodes, now this glass is pretty thick, very, very thick for a $1.25 candle. So imagine your candle exploding from a little bitty wick that is very, very thick. That means there is some powerful energy working against you. Okay. And the reason why it's working against you is because when something explodes, that means you have a lot of energy that's combusting outward, right? If it was positive energy that was within you, the candle would burn very fast, like my sacral chakra did. It burned very fast. It burned um, fairly clean. So this lets me know that the energy of this chakra is working very fast, is spinning at a fast rate, which signifies that it is quite healthy. Okay. All of my chakras are quite healthy. There is no soot, but there is some things that need to be done in order to improve the health of the chakras. Now, when we get to my throat chakra, now this candle, this is where it starts to get a little interesting, because Although I have been creating content, okay, I have been very diligent about making sure that my content aligns with the brand that I'm building in my sacral, with my sacral energy. What this candle is telling me is that, yes, I'm using my voice. Yes, I'm putting myself out there, but I'm mostly only talking about higher level, higher vibrational things that may go over the heads of the average Joe, right? And why do I say that? The wax that is left at the top is very thin. It's a thin layer of wax, which means I'm saying some things, I'm speaking my truth, but I'm not really saying everything that I really want to say. And the things that would really matter to the masses, the things that would really probably tick some folks off and make some people mad, I'm having a lot of trouble getting that out, right? I'm stifling the energy in my throat chakra to speak about lower, more dense conversations. Now, remember when we were talking about the sacral chakra, this lower level of the candle is closer to the lower ages of me, right? So the things that affected me, it starts getting real dense around, I would say about halfway. So around like 15, 17 on down, I experienced a lot of traumatic situations, instances in my life, a lot of things that caused me a lot of pain in my heart. Okay. A lot of things that caused me a lot of pain I experienced. And if you look all the way around the candle, it's pretty congruent. The amount of wax that is left on the candle is pretty congruent all the way around from about midway on down. At the bottom, there's still a heavy pigmented amount of wax at the bottom, which signifies those formative years, those root chakra years, those early years of my throat development. I have not yet allowed or released the expectations that were imposed upon me, that stifled my voice, that prevented me from really talking about the things that my heart desires to talk about. That really, I have not been really talking about the things that will help the masses of people heal their heart around their early childhood, early adolescent years. So, this, I am in total agreement that this candle really depicts how I feel about my current um, content creation situation. This candle shows me and is a true indicator of the work that I need to do to release or to gain the courage, okay? Gain the courage from my early childhood, early adolescent years to speak about the things that traumatized me. That is um a repeating scenario in the collective, right? The things that I have been through and I have seen and I have lived and gone through, I need to be talking about it because it's going to help the collective. Yes, I've been talking about numerology, astrology, tarot, and different things that are more higher level, higher vibrational things that you would learn more in your adult life. I've been talking about that. I've been giving you guys some guidance, and it shows but I still have only been scratching the surface of the things that I've been telling you about that because it's still wax on the upper portion of my candle, but it's a lot less wax. So these two go hand in hand. I have to tap more into the courage of my earlier years, my childhood years, and start talking about the things that will make the biggest difference in the collective. And because I have not been really speaking about those things in depth. My heart chakra is showing a lot of things, right? So, once again, there's no soot on my heart chakra candle. I've been releasing a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, and my candle it wanted to clear out completely from my younger childhood. It wanted to, but there was still a lot of dense energy in my home at that time. My father was still living with me, which was a huge heart chakra energetic blocker. If you read my book, A Hypocrite's Diary, which is available on Amazon, I'll put the link down in the description. If you read my book, A Hypocrite's Diary, a lot of things that I experienced in my childhood as well as in my early adulthood came from the the experiences that I went through due to having a lack of a healthy father figure in my life. So even though I have done a lot of healing, a lot of forgiving, a lot of releasing, which is indicated by partial completed burning of wax in my lower childhood, it really tried to get rid of all of the wax in those lower formative years, but there was still a lot of heavy, dense energy in my home at that current time, which didn't allow for the higher octave of my heart chakra to be clear. There was still some dense energy that I was still dealing with in my home by having him living with me full time. So it is showing me that my heart it needed to purge. It needed to be released of his energy. Okay. I needed to stand strong in my commitment to myself and understand that I had to do what was best for me to release my heart of the pain that he was constantly reminding me of by living in my home. Now, we getting personal because Tara tells it all. I'm not going to hold anything back because I really want you guys to understand how to read these candles, how to understand what the energy in your body is trying to tell you. Okay. And these things will manifest in your body physically, but that's a whole nother thing. That's a service that I will be providing soon, which is called a shadow diagnosis. We'll go over that at a later time. But this heart chakra candle, I was surprised, honestly. But when I saw it burn out and all of the wax that was left on the candle, it made a lot of sense that the things that I was dealing with in my home, suppressing my own needs, suppressing my own needs for his, showed up in my candle. Okay. And then we go to the root chakra. Ooh, baby. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't like to admit it. And although my candle burned completely out and there's very little film left on it, there's still some heavier portions of wax at the base of my candle. Now, for the most part, I live a average middle class life, but I don't strive to be average in anything that I do. And it lets me know that there's still some uncertainty about my finances, about my stability, and it's showing up in my candle. Most of the energy from my lower childhood I have released. I have been able to overcome the poverty situation that I was born into. I have a stable career that would allow me to make money to provide a nice average middle class family, but most middle class family have debt, which I do. Most average middle class single parent homes okay, I'm sure may not have the highest of credit scores, which I'm working on mine. So this candle, it took the longest to burn out because the energy in the root chakra, although It's balanced, it's moving slower than the rest. My working through my fears of financial insecurity is indicative of how slow this candle burned. Okay. It burns slowly, which lets me know that I need to ramp up my content creation. Okay. I need to be more creative as to how I bring in finances and to be disciplined in how I show up for myself and my community. So you guys know how I can help you to clear the energy in your chakras, to heal your shadow, so that we all can manifest the life that we truly desire. Now, it's not much wax left at the bottom. Most of it did clear out, but as I said, this candle burned the slowest. It was the last candle to burn out, which lets me know that I need to improve my ability to make money to sustain myself. Stop robbing Peter to pay Paul, okay? Stop living paycheck to paycheck, or, making sure that I have more than enough, not only just enough. Okay. So hopefully you guys were able to better understand the way your candles burn have a lot to do with the energy and health of the intention that you put into it, i.e., the chakras. If you are interested in getting a shadow diagnosis via candles from me, I will be posting the link to my website in the description of this video so that you can purchase this as a service if you are not yet comfortable or ready, or even know how to read the candle, how to read the burn, how to read the flame of the candle and what it's telling you in regards to your chakra. That is a service I will be providing for you guys. If you found this video informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like it, share with a friend, and please subscribe to the channel because there's going to be more content like this rolling out every single week. Thank you guys for watching. Endless love, y'all. Peace.